How I went from insecure to unstoppable, and you can too. The confession: I used to be my own worst enemy. Alright, let's be real for a second. I used to be that person who second-guessed everything. I'd spend way too much time in front of the mirror before going out, analyzing every tiny flaw that probably nobody else noticed. I'd rehearse conversations in my head, trying to make sure I sounded cool, only to still say something awkward like, "Thanks, you too," when the waiter told me to enjoy my meal. And let's not even talk about how I'd avoid eye contact during conversations because I was convinced people could see straight into my soul and expose my insecurities. Does this sound familiar? If so, congrats, you're human. But let me tell you something: confidence is not about perfection. It's about acceptance. I thought confidence was about looking a certain way, having a certain amount of money, or being the loudest person in the room. Turns out, it's none of those things. Confidence is built, one step at a time. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, starting right now. The shift, the biggest lie about confidence. I used to believe that confidence was something you either have or don't. Like some people were just born with it, strutting around like they own the place, while the rest of us stood in the corner hoping nobody called on us to speak. But let me hit you with a truth bomb: confidence is a skill, not a personality trait. And just like any skill, you can learn it. You don't wake up one day suddenly feeling like the most powerful person in the world. You build that feeling, little by little. I used to overthink every single move I made. Did I sound weird? Was that joke stupid? Does my face look weird when I talk? Then I realized, no one cares as much as I think they do. People are too busy thinking about their own stuff to analyze my every move. And when I finally let go of that imaginary audience in my head, I started living differently. The truth is, confidence isn't about eliminating self-doubt, it's about acting in spite of it. So if you're waiting for self-doubt to disappear before you take action, you'll be waiting forever. Instead, do the thing while feeling unsure. That's how confidence grows. You don't fake it till you make it. You do it till you believe it. The real struggle, confidence isn't magic, it's momentum. Let me be real with you, building confidence is uncomfortable at first. You'll feel awkward. You'll feel like a fraud. And you will fail at something. But that's exactly where the growth happens. I remember the first time I tried speaking up in a meeting. My voice was shaking. I stumbled over my words. I thought I looked ridiculous. But you know what? Nobody cared. Nobody laughed. Nobody pointed and said, "Wow, what a disaster." I was the only one who thought it was a big deal. That's when it hit me: most of our fears exist only in our heads. So here's what I did. I stopped waiting to feel confident and started practicing confidence instead. I stood up straighter. I spoke a little louder. I made eye contact, even when it was uncomfortable. And little by little, things started to change. People responded to me differently. They took me more seriously. And most importantly, I started to believe in myself. Confidence isn't about being fearless. It's about acting despite fear, proving to yourself, again and again, that you're capable. And once you do, you gain something even more powerful than confidence: momentum. The victory: your mind believes what you tell it. You ever notice how the most confident people don't wait for permission to own the room? They just decide to be confident. And you can do the same thing. Your mind is like a sponge, it believes whatever you feed it. So if you keep telling yourself, "I'm not confident," guess what? Your brain is going to roll with that and make it your reality. But the second you flip the script, even just a little, things start to change. Instead of "I'm bad at talking to people," try "I'm learning to connect with others." Instead of "I'll always be nervous in big groups," say "Every time I practice, I get better." The way you talk to yourself matters. Speak to yourself like you would to your best friend. And here's the game changer: stop waiting for confidence and start creating it. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes because of action. The more you do, the more you prove to yourself that you're capable. The more you prove it, the more you believe it. And when you believe in yourself, everything changes. The call to action, the confidence challenge. So here's my challenge to you. Do one thing today that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Just one. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting. Maybe it's making eye contact with the cashier. Maybe it's standing a little taller when you walk into a room. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be intentional. And here's the deal, you might still feel awkward. You might still hear that little voice in your head saying, "What if you mess up?" But do it anyway. Because every time you push past doubt, you're sending a message to yourself. I am capable. I am confident. I am in control. Imagine what your life would look like if you stopped doubting yourself. If you walked into every room like you belong there. If you believed in yourself the way the world needs you to. Because here's the truth, you do belong. You are capable. And your dreams? They're waiting for you to show up with the confidence to claim them. So don't wait. The world needs the confident, unstoppable version of you. And trust me, you're closer than you think. Now go out there and own it. We've all been there, doubting ourselves, hesitating, holding back when we should be stepping up. I used to be trapped in my own head, thinking I wasn't good enough, smart enough, or brave enough. But one day, I realized something. Confidence isn't given, it's built. And I was done waiting. This poem is for anyone who's ever felt small, scared, or stuck. It's time to break free, step up, and own who you are. Because trust me, if I can do it, so can you. From insecure to unstoppable. I used to stand with shoulders low, afraid to shine, afraid to show. A whisper told me, stay in place. That fear was written on my face. I let the doubts call every shot, believed I was something I was not. A prisoner inside my mind, chained by thoughts so unkind. But one day, something changed in me, I asked. What if I set myself free? What if I dared? What if I tried? What if I shut out fear and pride? I stood up tall, I spoke out loud, no longer fading in the crowd. I faced the world with steady eyes, no longer feeding fear with lies. Each step I took, my voice grew strong, the doubts grew weak, they lost their song. I failed, I fell, but stood once more, till fear became a distant roar. Now when I walk, I own the ground, no longer lost, I'm finally found. Confidence is built, not given, a fire inside that keeps me driven. So if you're stuck, afraid to move, let this be your sign to prove that deep inside, there burns a light, and it's your time to shine so bright. Stand up, speak out, claim your space, step forward now, no time to waste. The world is waiting, don't you see? The best version of you is meant to be. If this hit home for you, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to ShiftPather. Because confidence isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up, again and again, until you believe in yourself. Let's rise together.